The loudest people are not the strongest. Those that appear to be the most seen and powerful and supported by the media do not run the world. While they may have resources and a platform that does give them a certain amount of sheltered power, they are not all the power. They are not everything. And things can change rather remarkably. And that begins with you listening to the call of your soul. One great lie that we've been fed in the United States, as well as other places, is that if we are not a part of the government or we are not a celebrity, that our influence doesn't matter. And that often results in our own demise, as well as the demise around us. One of the big killers in the country of the United States is the pressure to settle, to keep up that marriage, keep that job, because the house, the mask, the social media presence is worth keeping the lie going. It's so much scarier to acknowledge the truth about who we might actually be, to acknowledge what might happen if we risk the unknown, or just acknowledge the truth that maybe what we were told to become isn't actually who we should become. My friends, if you are a part of the settling culture, the culture that believes that we can survive via masks, you are doing more damage to yourself and to this world than you realize. And I'm here to make you aware of that, but also help call you to your higher purpose, to your own divinity. You know, if we look at how scary it is to risk the unknown, right? If I get that divorce, if I quit this job, if I pursue this hobby, if I try to start this business, if I make this connection, I don't know what's going to happen. Sometimes that just seems scary. We get lost in that fear, and that fear is enough to just motivate us to live our life through a mask. And instead, just point out the people who are on TV and notice all the incorrect things that they are doing and point them out, but really ignore what it is that we're supposed to be doing. It's much scarier to live your whole life believing that a mask can sustain you than it is to live in the unknown for a little while. Because here's the powerful secret about the unknown. Who you can become and the great things that you can accomplish in this world for yourself and others might be greater, more powerful, more remarkable, more compassionate, more life-changing for everyone than you can imagine. The beauty of the unknown, of not knowing where you're going, is you're opening yourself up to the possibility of a higher calling. You're opening yourself up to work with the universe, with the planets, with each other, with relationships that can take you to the next level and help you raise others up. The unknown does not have to just be scary. The unknown can open you up to a life greater than what you imagined, if you're willing to just endure the discomfort for a little while. But discomfort is where evolution happens. Discomfort is where change happens. It's where you become something great, and that something great is always worth the discomfort. That something great is always worth the unknown. I promise you that it is. I'm here today to encourage you to take off your mask. Remove your mask. Make that decision that you know you need to make so that you can step into your higher calling. Be willing to endure the discomfort for a little while. Be willing to endure the unknown, because on the other side of the unknown is your higher calling, and you will receive gifts along the way. Our world needs to get better. I think we can acknowledge that a lot of the corruption of this world is becoming very visible. I think we can acknowledge that our government is not here to serve us. They are here to serve their own agendas. They are not here for the people. In fact, I would argue that the United States government was never built for the people. There might be little side laws along the way that help the people, but not really. Because we can't ignore how this government was formed, right? At its core, this country was created by criminals, by people who stole land and enslaved people to build it. You can't build a compassionate, equal system of rules and laws and all that off of criminals. And I think we can see, unfortunately, that system is built to protect certain type of criminals. Our president and the leaders he's chosen to be alongside him are criminals, and they're protected. We need something new. We need to build something that honors the indigenous people who were here and are still here, that honors the African people who were brought over here as slaves, that built this country without ever receiving the acknowledgement for it. We have to build something that honors the ancestors who really built this country and who survived the worst of the worst, and something that honors those of us who are here now, who were born into it, who need to build something better. And that something better begins with us taking our mask off. You have to take your mask off. You have to realize that living that settled life where you're just in your corner, in the wrong marriage, in the wrong job that's slowly sucking your soul, staying in it for the wrong reasons, for material securities, you are doing harm to yourself and others. You are depriving the world of your true nature, of the gifts that you could offer that could build something better. You are so much more than you think you are. You have so many gifts. Honor yourself. Honor the people of this country by being brave enough to discover what they are. Because the way that we're truly going to rebuild this country in an actual, equal, compassionate, cohesive way is by doing something new, is by evolving, is by imagining ways to serve each other, take care of each other, build together. Imagining ways that we do that without exploiting and enslaving and gaslighting people. By allowing everyone to live out their true divinity, by honoring each other. We have to build something new. And that starts with you taking off the mask. We can't do it if we're hiding behind masks of sheltered versions of the American dream. We can't build it that way. We have to start something new. We have to build something new. And there's something calling you. There's absolutely something calling you. You might just hear the violin. Maybe there's something that's been coming to you in a dream or a hobby that you really want to start. And it's just the part of the violin. Maybe it's ironic and it's some sort of like bass part, it's just kind of a boom, 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 boom. Maybe that's calling you. Maybe it's something goofy and awkward. I promise you, it's more than goofy and awkward. It's the beginning. Maybe you're just hearing one part, but you are being called to a symphony. Don't ignore it anymore. That thing, whatever that is, that language you want to learn, that place you want to visit, that relative that you know you need to connect with, not out of guilt, but because you know there's something powerful that will be there if you just connect with that person. That painting class you want to take, that dance group you want to join, that walking group that you want to go with, that tree you want to plant, that little potted plant of basil that you want to put in your window to cook with. These pieces of what it means to be a creative being are the puzzle that's meant to come together to create a world of divinity. Imagine a world where we are all so overjoyed with our own capacity for growth and beauty and connection and creativity that we don't feel the need to compare and exploit anymore. We literally know how it means to embody joy for ourselves and others. Imagine if you could look at your friend's success and genuinely be happy for them, like you mean it, and you support it, and you have your own well of joy to draw from. That is the world that we need. We need everybody, especially you, to remember your own divinity so that we can be creative about cleaning up the mess of the forefathers, cleaning up the mess of the patriarchy, but while also cleaning up the mess that we didn't make, making what we make. Making something new. Something built from joy, compassion, creativity, connection. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? My friends, it begins by taking your mask off. It begins with you being willing to endure some discomfort for the purpose of your higher calling. And nothing is ever one thing and then the other. You will find that the moment you step into your discomfort is also the moment you discover that muscle you didn't know you had. That strength that you didn't know that you had. It will come right alongside your discomfort. You don't need to live based on achievement. I did this, I gave up this, now I get that. You can live in a cycle where you are growing and releasing all at once, and it begins by removing the mask. And you can do it. And there's lots of tools to help you along the way, one of which are my books. I wrote a book called She Death's Reflection because I was carrying a lot of rage and a perceived lack of control over a situation that was incredibly unjust. It was something I made in the thick of discomfort. But as you'll hear in a minute when I read you the synopsis, the summary of the story, right alongside that discomfort was my strength, was a discovery of muscles and insights that I didn't know that I had. And it began by taking off the mask of pretending that something wasn't bothering me. And this is what I discovered. The summary of my book, She Death's Reflection. If narcissism were a monster, we'd call her Death. I recall too fiercely every painstaking moment that I shouldered all responsibilities, submitted to avoid outbursts of rage, absorbed disparaging words and violent strikes, all leading to becoming consumed by a fury that didn't belong to me. Rather than regretting wasted time, bearing stomach-curdling disgust, and burning alive in adrenaline-soaked skin, I will grasp onto all the powerful ways that my body was learning how to reach higher. I am worth the freedom of existing as my own creation. A life of servitude and bending to the whims of a narcissist is no true existence at all. And here, in the deepest of uglies, alongside this world's most enchanting offerings, I can see how urgently necessary it is to strive for nothing less than my own true identity and connection to the natural world. Nothing but this darkness could have shown me how worthy every risk for the light is. I've come to know narcissists as the greatest teachers of our generation, but, true to their form, they believe they are great for the wrong reasons. They are not a gift to this world, but rather a warning of the destructive nature of a false image. It is my hope that the story of She-Death's reflection will finally urge people of the world to wake up and find bravery enough to shatter the mirror and nurture the seeds that grow in the deep beneath. Again, that's the summary of my book, She-Death's Reflection. It's the sequel to my book, Monsters, and I'll put a link to my website in the show notes so you can find it there. My books are meant to be tools to help wake you up, and I promise you, I poured every single ounce of my magic into them. As you can hear from the back of that book, this book began as something that was bothering me. A situation, a systemic situation that I felt like I had no control over. And I didn't. I didn't have control over it when I was using the tools of the broken system to try to fix it. Where I found control, where I found something greater, was in my own hands, was in the seeds that I held rather than the shards of glass that somebody else broke. Drop the glass, whatever that is for you. The dead-end relationship, the job that you know is sucking the life out of you. The classic American dream that you successfully achieved but found that you were miserable inside. Is it perhaps possible that these lifestyle ideals that we were fed were meant to sustain systems, broken systems that don't belong to us, that keep a couple people at the top imploding with their own gluttony, and the rest of us as worker bees that have no idea where the fruit of our labor is actually going? Enough. We rebuild this world by taking off the mask and remembering who we really are. You are not alone in your corner of the world, affecting nobody. Your settling affects the world. We need everybody. And yes, I mean you. I don't care if you're there like, well, I just work in accounting over in St. Cloud. Man, me and my computer, my last name is Smith. What are you talking about? Yeah, you. We need you. There's more to you. And you need to remember. And it begins with removing the mask and listening to the thing that's been calling you. There's more to your desire to dance. There's more to your connection with that relative that you know you need to speak to. There's more. It's a seed. And the power of uncertainty is becoming something divine beyond our imagination. When you open yourself up to uncertainty, you also open yourself up to the magic of this world. You put down achievement culture, you leave it at the door, and you open to the magic of the sky, to the magic of nature, to the magic of becoming. I love you all so much. I'm going to put links to my website, which has my books, which are powerful tools for you. And I encourage you to click them. I encourage you to share this podcast. I encourage you to email me at jdill@lovingcreatively.com if there's something else you need to hear. Because I'm here for you. I'm showing up for you because I believe in you. I know you have bravery, magic, and muscle inside of you. Be brave enough to reach for it. Be brave enough to take off the mask. Because behind the mask is the compassion, power, and connection that we need to heal this country and heal this world. Thanks for coming.